Time to let it fly. Time to let it fly. Time to let it fly. Let it fly. Time to...
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Here we are with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight at Charlotte as they'll be playing against...
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
On the floor for Charlotte.
We're in the place they call the United Center in Chicago, the home of the Bulls, where today we'll be broadcasting live. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan with Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Taking a look at Charlotte, and you look at their record, 5 games back from the #1 seed.
And checking out Charlotte, they're one of the NBA's early season success stories. They've made an immediate push toward the top of the standings.
Greg, I wish I could say I saw this coming, but I had no idea. They put it together so early. Tremendous job by the coaching staff.
So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. Chris Bosh is out there with Wiggins. Then there's Howard. And it's Smith. And it's Evans in at the 2-guard spot. Now, here is Smith. He's coming off a 10-point game against Philadelphia. That one good for 2.
It's a battle boxing Howard out. Too big, too strong.
Smith against McCollum. About 1 minute into the first quarter. Jokic with his screen on Smith. Here's Dedmon. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. And late in the year, we hear about teams finding their stride, Chris, and others worrying that they might be peaking too early. Do you give any credence to the idea that a team can peak too early?
It depends on the mentality of the team. If you have a young team and they're excited and every game is a big game and they don't know how to handle winning, then I think you can peak too early. If you're a fine-tuned machine like some veterans, then you're really taking your winning with a grain of salt. You're more so appreciating the culture and the tone that's set there and realizing our tone and our culture is what equals wins, not just the win. So it really depends on how you look at it, and usually veteran teams know how to handle winning more so than young.
Bulls have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Fournier passes to McCollum. Jokic with his screen on Smith. McCollum against Smith. Just 5 on the clock. And Jokic gets it to go. The assist from Covington.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Now, here is Smith. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. And that one's good. Wiggins. The Bulls have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Smith against McCollum. Pass to Covington. To the paint. Here's Jokic. It's rebounded by Charlotte. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And I feel like the defense was one step behind all night. I mean, they never made the adjustments to string together a few stops.
Now, here's Fournier. Following the miss by Andrew Wiggins. Fournier against Evans. Clock at 4. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Another miss by Jokic.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, because you're spread out. It could be difficult to contest these shots, but not for him.
Now here's Wiggins. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. 32 seconds left in the first quarter. McCollum kicks to Jokic. Kicks it out to McCollum. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic.
McCollum is incredibly dangerous from outside. Awesome at finding available space. He shoots it with ease.
Fournier against Evans. Knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time?
And the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is cute.
So at the end of one quarter. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And Charlotte trails by 3. We've got Dwayne Dedmon. Robert Covington out there with Jokic. Then it's Evan Fournier. And it's McCollum in at the point guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Puts it up from 12. Nice shot by Evans. Evans has got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for Charlotte. McCollum against Smith. McCollum dishes to Fournier. Passes it to Jokic. Evans against Fournier. Just 5 to shoot. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And Evan Fournier out of France, an instinctive offensive player, Greg.
Yeah, favorite player growing up was Manu Ginobili, and you can see some similarities in their games. Fournier possesses long-range shooting, but also able to handle and put pressure on the D with the dribble.
Howard with a screen on Fournier. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
I love watching Howard still doing his thing out there. A nightly double-double threat.
Charlotte shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight. And he knocks down the first one.
And for so long, the Bulls really were synonymous with the best defensive teams in the league. But as a team, they've started to slip the last few years. It's something that has been lost while this team kind of retools for the future.
And it's tied up with that one. And it used to be you could pencil in the Bulls as a top 10 defensive team by most metrics in any given year. But, Greg, the last few seasons, they've just been middle of the pack.
And, you know, over the history of this team, they've always been at their best when they played great defense. You go back to those Jordan years where they were marked by exceptional defense. This last group, led by Derrick Rose, similarly built on a defensive-minded philosophy. Let's just see if they get back to their roots with this new push.
Pass to Fournier. McCollum outside. Jokic a screen. And here's Covington from the arc. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. Covington's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Smith kicks to Evans. Screen by Smith. Evans passes to Wiggins. Shoots over Covington. And with that, the Chicago lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Andrew Wiggins. Here's Chicago. They come into this one following the loss to the Mavericks.
And on an ordinary night, guys, I think they would have come out on top. That's just how well they played. But they happened to catch an opposing team at the very top of their game.
Yeah, it was a shame anyone had to lose. Home court advantage may very well have been the difference.
Evans dishes to Howard. Smith outside. Back to Howard. And there's the rebound by Dedmon.
Some tough D in the paint. Get between him and the bucket and stopping the easy.
And some players, you just kind of know that they'll end up in coaching. Just the way they approach the game and go about themselves. Chris, having played Hoiberg during your career, did you ever see him becoming a head coach?
Well, it's not as easy to tell your opponents versus your teammates. Didn't have a really close relationship with them. Didn't know or his expectations, never played with them. So, no, I never saw it coming.
Howard. Chicago grabs the miss. Jokic has got his 3rd rebound on the night. McCollum against Smith. McCollum kicks to Jokic. Stolen by Evans. Fast break now for Charlotte. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You got to respect the physicality of Evans. Excellent at drawing contact on his way up.
Both good from the line that time.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Now the dish to Covington. Jokic a screen. Off the screen. It's rebounded by Charlotte.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Best laid plans, right? Well, I'll tell you right there, though, that's one they'll take every single time.
McCollum kicks to Dedmon. Here's the screen. Dishes to Covington for the three. No good on that one. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
Hey again,
Show.
y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. They saw their lead grow to a high water mark of 5 in the period. If you look at the second quarter scoring, they had a small edge. They really hung tough as we got close to halftime. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago? That's it for now as the second.
Welcome back to the hustle and bustle of Chicago, a time-lapse view of all the traffic heading toward downtown. Charlotte trails by 4. Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the court for Charlotte, Smith is out there with Tyreek Evans. Then there's Chris Bosh. Then there's Howard. And it's Wiggins in at the 3, the small forward. So many great point guards in this year's draft. Greg, what stands out to you about North Carolina State's Dennis Smith?
Well, I think he's the best athlete of them all. A terror off the bounce, great toughness, and he's drawn some comparison to Stevie Francis when you talk about his bounce and physicality.
Well, we always hear about how some guys are locker room leaders or a veteran presence on a team. Chris, how quickly does someone establish themselves as a team leader? It's universally embraced by the rest of the team.
It's tough. You know, some guys can come in and do it day one, but I think that we've seen a lot of leaders grow, whether it was a great leader like a 2-time MVP in Nash. It took some years first for him to understand himself and then kind of let his leadership you follow that on the court. We bring that to today with a guy like a John Wall. It's taken him about 4 or 5 years to really learn to be around veterans, but guys are coming in younger now, and so I think that it's going to take a little bit of time to develop, but as long as they're continuing to learn, as long as they're continuing to put the effort out, because you're a leader first by what you do, not by what you say, and so if you are trying to figure your way out and work hard, then you're being a leader. People are figuring it out. It's usually when does the vocal part come in along with kind of leading by an example, and so I think for every person it's different, but it's a lot of fun watching because when they get to that point, you've definitely seen some development and growth from them mentally and physically when you know they've taken over the reins like a guy like John Wall has.
Good insight. Puts it up from 15, and it's Wiggins missing.
Look, it would be a huge boost for them if he could start knocking it down.
And it's McCollum in the corner. And the pass to Jokic. A 3. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. And that's 12 points for Jokic. One thing that I think many players and certainly many other coaches, Chris, in the NBA love about Steve Clifford is his brutal honesty. He will pull no punches with you.
Yeah, reporters just can't throw cliche phrases at him during the press conferences. He'll just match it. The frankness he has with the media and players is one reason players like Clifford.
Smith against McCollum. It's stolen by Smith. Oh, and here comes Smith. All alone. Oh! Goodness. Wow.
Yeah, you gotta love seeing the young fella dunk that one home. Smith likes to show off that incredible vertical.
Here's Jokic. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Well, he's been the safety valve for them on every possession. So dependable.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Wiggins against Covington.
Oh, nasty.
And I gotta say, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult when they're trailing.
But still a magnificent move to the rim. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. McCollum no good. They can trade 2 for 1 here.
Would be the right move, I believe, right now.
Well, he hasn't been very precise at all.
Fournier with the ball. Evans picks him up. Fournier pass to McCollum. Covington against Wiggins. Stolen by Bosch. A solo fast break for the finish. And Wiggins throws it down hard.
And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space. They set the screen from 11 feet away. That one doesn't drop. 3/4 of play in a close game here. It's the Bulls. They're up by 3. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the 4th quarter. Fred Hoiberg in a recent huddle with his players.
All right, we got to be strong with the ball now, okay?
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The 4th quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Chicago leading by 3. We've got Robert Covington. Dwayne Dedmon is out there with Jokic. Then there's McCollum, and it's Fournier in at the 2. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Oh, and McCollum, he's an exceptional shooter. He loves sticking it to the D when they're right in his face.
Smith kicks to Evans. Bosch, a screen on Fournier. Here's Evans, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Yeah, the defender all over.
And he knocks down the first one. And both free throws good for Tyreke Evans. McCollum with the ball. Pass to Jokic. And there's the feed to Covington. Second shot opportunity. Dedmon's shot is off. Charlotte trails by 3. Evans outside. Shoots over Fournier. And it's Evans missing. Chicago's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3-ball here. McCollum kicks to Fournier. He dishes it to Dedmon. McCollum outside. And the 3 off target.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Wiggins kicks to Bosch. Screen by Howard. A pass to Bosch. Back to Evans. We're just over a minute and a half now into the 4th. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
And how about the confidence from Evans? He's feeling like no one can stop him playing with a ton of heart.
That's why his teammates trust him so much at the line.
Bulls have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the 3rd quarter. Kicks it to Covington. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Chris Bosch.
Clearly a foul.
Free throw drops for Covington. He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
An uneven trip to the line, but they do come away up by 1.
From deep, Evans. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got his 3rd assist on the night. Chicago trailing here. And here's Fournier. McCollum outside. Back to Fournier. Just 5 on the clock. From deep 3-point range, Evans with some nice deep.
Playing the revenge card right there. Trying to get those 3 points right back. And it's a confidence shaker when you can't hit a wide open 3.
Fournier gets a wide open look. Gets an open look and hits. Fournier's got the game tied up here for Chicago. Evans at the elbow. And stolen by Fournier. It's McCollum on the wing, covered by Smith. McCollum dishes to Covington. Passes to Jokic. Over Bosch. And that one's good. Jokic has got 9 points now in just the second half.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
And defensively, you know he's feeling good right now. And as the opposing team, you better adjust your scheme accordingly.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
Well, we want people to tune in, don't we? This is what they're tuning into. Big moments.
And Fournier kicks to Jokic. Knocked loose. And here we go. Fast break. Wiggins has got it. Smith inside. He is guarded by McCollum. And they get it back. Fournier against Evans. Feeds it to Covington. To the middle. Here's Jokic.
No trespassing. Howard controlling the defensive end.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Smith. 11 seconds left in the fourth. Howard setting the pick for Wiggins. Here's Evans. Can't cash in. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Tyreke Evans.
Yeah, more than half of their scoring has been through him. It hadn't been selfish either. That's the way they mapped this thing out. And they knew what a tough matchup he'd be for their D, so they just decided to ride it.
For three, Fournier, and the call up against Jokic. That's foul number 2 for him. Charlotte calls timeout. Evans, that's a 2-pointer. Oh, and a chance to win the game, but the last second shot is offline. And regulation now complete. We will go to overtime. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. Well, if you're just joining us, the intensity has really heated up in this one. As we...
Ready to go? Ready to go?
And it's going to be the Bulls off the tip. So the overtime period is now ticking away. Should be fun. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. So the Bulls 5 right now. Robert Covington out there with Jokic. Then it's Evan Fournier. Then it's Dwayne Dedman. And it's McCollum in at the point. Smith the pass to Wiggins. Howard with the screen on Covington. Wiggins kicks to Evans. Over Fournier. Evans' shot is good. Evans has got 20 points.
In the shooting form Evans has, a reliable jump shot. You got to honor it if you're the defense.
Jokic against Bosch. Jokic, no good.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Well, that takes physical ability, good timing, those 2 things that he possessed.
That was a big one. You could hear it.
And sometimes the silence of a crowd could speak volume.
McCollum dishes to Covington. Pass to Jokic. Another miss by Jokic.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
Well, that just shows you can do everything right sometimes, but still get the wrong result.
Feeling it. No doubt about it. He's definitely feeling it right now. Shooting a terrific percentage from the field.
Chicago calls timeout. They're trailing by 4. 46 seconds left in the first overtime. Action has been terrific. McCollum against Smith. Covington kicks to Jokic. Over Bosch. And again, Chicago. No good. And so they choose to intentionally foul. So they foul intentionally. So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5.
And how about the confidence that Smith plays the game with? He knows he's not the biggest guy out there. That doesn't stop him from being the most aggressive.
They set the pick. Cullen passes to Covington. And here's Jokic. Back to Covington. 5 on the clock. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. And that's an intentional foul. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. No luck that time either. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 5. 9 seconds left in overtime. McCollum dishes to Covington. Here's Jokic. No good on the triple. And now we've got the intentional foul. And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. And the second of 2 is good. That increases their lead to 6. So it's Charlotte picking up the win. And they had some nervous moments down the stretch, but things finally came together for them in overtime. All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.